1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon, hoping you will tune into our show. It's hosted by Cuz.
Welcome back to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast. And in case you're just joining us, you're listening to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast with Emmy, Hikins and Trevor.
Impression of that person. And it's interesting how that happens, isn't it? If you see, perhaps not so much nowadays, but if it used to be the case perhaps a few years ago, that if you saw someone covered in tattoos, for example, especially on their face or whatever, that certainly gives an impression. I don't really want to say a negative impression because it's so commonplace now that not so much on the face, but a lot of people have tattoos and some of them a lot of tattoos. And I think it's probably silly to make a judgment in any way on that as an impression. But what I'm saying is, yeah, the visuals you got with those earrings and piercings gave you a certain impression, which subsequently was changed because you got to know the guy and you thought, yeah, he's not quite as I imagined him to be, which is good because it shows that whatever impressions people do give about themselves through what they say, how they dress, etc., may not always be immediately accurate. But I think the point, going back to the idea of someone we haven't met before, apparently research over the last few years kind of keeps shortening the amount of time it takes us as humans to make a solid impression of somebody. It was up until probably 5, 6, 7 years ago, research showed that within the first 7 seconds of meeting somebody, we have formed a pretty solid impression of them. And that would certainly, with your earrings, man, it will come within that. But really subsequent to that, even more recently, and there's a lot of research in this area, and psychology and so on, suggests that really within a second or two, we have formed a pretty solid opinion of a particular person within a second or two. So that must essentially be on the visuals that we see, the feeling we get. But interestingly, and you touched on someone's voice, I think somewhere that you said, when we hear somebody speak, we see them and then they immediately speak. Within, it sounds ridiculous, within 500 milliseconds, which is a small fraction of a second, we have formed a very firm view of their trustworthiness, that they're trustworthy or not, from the way they speak. And really that goes to show that vocal inflections, the way somebody speaks, is much more important, really, than how they look, which is a strange thing. But generally, the two things go together. So yeah, it's the point of all of that is we very quickly, without realizing it, form an impression of somebody that we meet, whether it's a job interview, whether it's a date, whether it's a new friend being introduced. The brain is concocting an opinion of that person. Strangely, they often, the majority of times, they are a pretty sound impression. We can change our opinions, our impressions of somebody, but we're a bit more reluctant, apparently, to do that because we believe in our ability to judge somebody at the outset. So it leads on to what sort of things can we do in various situations to give a good impression. And I guess the first one, if we think of a job interview or a date or all sorts of things, it's going to be how we dress. It's going to be the clothes we wear, isn't it? We can give a good impression, hopefully. And I guess any of us, we all know that if we go into a wedding or...
We're going to take a short break now. We're back shortly. You've been listening to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show with Trevor and Emmy.
The Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast is looking for sponsors. If you're a company out there looking to spread the word about the products and services you provide, please get in touch with Deepstuff Radio Podcast on info@deepstuffrecords.com, or to use the contact form on our website to contact us, please visit radio.deepstuffrecords.com. Also, if you're looking to get involved on the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast, reach out via our Deepstuff Radio Facebook page. Thank you.
Wednesday afternoon. Hoping you will tune into our show. It's hosted by Cuz. The leader of our gang will make the show go with a bang and fund the aim of everything Cuz does. And fund the aim of everything Cuz does.